I'm trying to figure out when in the blue hell I went to sleep and woke up into a world where it became an unpopular opinion to say that you desired a partner because you didn't want to do it all. That's exactly what this young, beautiful woman said rather timidly on TikTok.
I'm in my mid 30s and I struggle so much to connect with women who have partners that are providers. I know this about myself. There's a level of envy in a way. I'm envious of them. And I struggle to empathize a lot of the times. Like I really do because it's literally just me. Like I have to keep a roof over my head. I have to keep up with my health. I have to keep up with my happiness. I have to keep up with my dog. I know that's first world problems, but just like all these things I'm doing by myself, and I know there are a lot of people out there that can relate.
You know, it's kind of sad that she felt sort of embarrassed to admit something that should be and come natural to all of us. This is something that has been part of our human makeup. It's been part of our DNA. We've been around for 600,000 years and paired for just as long because we've realized that that works better. Not perfect, but it works better than going it alone.
And I'm on my sixth apartment in New York City by myself. And that was the goal. That was always like, get your own space, take care of yourself. I'm gonna tell you right now, in my mid 30s, I hate living by myself. I hate it. I hate it. I'm a communal person. I like being around people. I sleep better when I'm around people, whether it's my family, my close friends. I hate being by myself. And so I'm at this weird place where I'm just like, what do I do? I don't know.
But
And I
there
just
is a narrative that seems to be being pushed on young women that they should go out on their own and not depend on anyone. And if you admit any weakness to the opposite, you are immediately silenced online.
exhausting. And it's so crazy when I think about it because growing up, I was taught you need to be able to take care of yourself. You shouldn't depend on anybody. Definitely don't depend on a man. Like that was a whole spiel that was ingrained over and over and over again.
Now, the thing that I felt was really sad about what this woman so bravely admitted was that she was grieving all of the things that she couldn't get done, ways in which she could change the world if she would just have had a little help.
And I just know if I had a partner that was helping me balance out this stuff, I would free up so much mental and emotional capacity to accomplish and get done all of these things that I have constantly in my mind, these ideas. Like I have so many ideas that could be life changing, not just for me, but like, and not just for my family even. I know it could change my family's life, but for society, like I have all these ideas, but I'm by myself and I can't do it. It's impossible.
It's almost like she realizes that 1 plus 1 equals 2. It's almost like she realizes that 600,000 years of us figuring out and try to work together was maybe a better thing to do.
And as humans, we are not meant to be individual creatures. We haven't evolved past that. We are still meant to be communal and we are meant to be in groups and herds and in packs. And so to be in your mid 30s doing all of this stuff, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
You'll find short after short after short glorifying and alienating the separation of men and women as the best choice and accelerating the horror stories and make people feel somehow superior that they've chosen to go it alone. But does that really reflect the whole truth? Has the entire world gone insane like I suspect it has? Have I indeed woken up in a parallel universe? What I found out in a little bit of research was that only 19% of women in the United States agree 100% with all feminist ideals and theories up until yesterday. So that means that they believe from the start to the finish, 100% they go along. Those, I suspect, are the ones who are doing all the talking. I feel like that 19% is doing all the talking for the 81% of women who may agree with a few things here, disagree with a few things. They're kind of doing their feminism a la carte, kind of like me. We're all pretty normal, but we have 19% of people who are narrating and causing problems for the rest of us. And it kind of makes you wonder, why on earth would that be happening? Why would all of a sudden, out of our long timeline of history, because contrary to popular belief, the world didn't start in the year 2000. We've been around for about 600,000 years. So when somebody all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and says that everything needs to change, and you've been here for 5 minutes with your blue hair saying that we've been doing it wrong this whole time. Hey, when you're loud enough, people will start to believe that everybody thinks this way. And I think that's by design. I think that they do a lot of talking because it's very, very important for people to believe that. Because if they were ever to be revealed, then people would realize that the empress has no clothes, that she does not indeed have on Gucci or Chloe or Chanel or Jimmy Choo. She doesn't have any of those things. In fact, she's rather shabby, a little bit dusty. But she doesn't want you to see that because then she would no longer be the empress, meaning that all of these narratives would lose their teeth if normal women, the rest of us, the 81% of us, would actually raise our hands and say, "This is stupid. Anyone? This is stupid." So I could see why that would be a motivation for those narratives to be really loud. But then there's also a secondary motivation that could be fueling all of this, and that is a negative mating strategy. Now, do you think that women are beneath actually having you believe some boneheaded thing so that you make the wrong kind of choice so that they can look good to the next guy that they want, especially in this competitive dating market? You better believe they would. Of course they would. They're going to tell you to go left when they know that you should go right. Think about your coworker, that girl who told you that the meeting was at 8 o'clock when it was at 7 o'clock. That's the same girl who will do that to you. So you know exactly who I'm talking about. So here we are in this conundrum, in this weird parallel universe where we've all of a sudden decided that we no longer want to do things that humans have been doing, and we seem to know it all, and we're getting it right. When I look at the comments of this woman, some of the things that the lady said reflected the insanity in which the world I live. One of them said that you need to seek counseling so that you can learn to be happy and fulfilled on your own. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you, lady, who just got here 5 minutes ago with your blue hair and your nose ring, is telling a person who has normal feelings about wanting to be with another human and being in partnership with another human, something that we've been doing for millennia, is all of a sudden abnormal and she needs the counseling. Whereas you're on TikTok all day yelling and screaming that the world is going to end and you've got 5011 medications, but she's the one who needs help. Something's weird here. The other comments that I saw were, well, you need to not envy your friends who are partnered because these guys may leave you and things may not always look as they seem. And that in fact is true. But here's the thing. Why is it that w- when being left it is always in the discussion of relationships, when in fact that you can be left in a variety of different ways? Well, black women just got left earlier in the summer with 350,000 of them losing their jobs. So it doesn't seem like corporations or regular jobs are any better bet than actually trying to build with a partner, is it? And then you might say, well, Chris, I'm not into all of that. I'm just going to depend on my girlfriends. Well, okay. So you can do that, but are you saying that women will never turn on other women? Let me tell you a quick story. One of my friends from college, one of my dear friends, all of a sudden out of nowhere decided that she didn't want to be friends anymore. She said I was a bad friend. And coincidentally, it came around the time that I was telling her that I was about to get engaged. All of a sudden, I'd become a bad friend. Nothing in particular had changed in the way that we communicated. If anything, over the past, oh my goodness, 1999, going on 30 years, we've had the same level of communication and interaction. And all of a sudden, I was a bad friend and she didn't want to talk to me anymore. Just imagine if somehow we had decided that she and we were going to be partners together and we were going to be there for each other when things got hard. Say, if I got into an accident and I didn't have any friends or family around, which is increasingly more possible, especially since people are disconnecting more and more with their own families. And so I depend on her and I need her for her to help me get out of bed, get in the shower, get on the toilet, maybe help me pay some bills. And what if all of a sudden, something happens in my life, an occurrence, or something happens in her life, and all of a sudden she's disconnected from me? There's no contract, there's no reason for her to stick around. And then what would I have? So, what am I trying to say? Jobs are a gamble, relationships are a gamble. If you decide that you want to just depend on your girlfriends, that's a gamble. Your family's also a gamble because you might cut them off. But hey, if everything is a gamble, then everything should be on the table. Don't cut yourself off of an opportunity to be more and do more with your life because you realize maybe too late that 1 + 1 = 2. So in any case, you guys, let me know what you think. I could be completely off the mark because again, I don't recognize this universe. Let me know where I'm wrong. Tell me in the comments. All right, guys, until next time, bye.